Everyone, Sean Countblagorath here with an album review, this time of the 2012 Unique Leader Records release of Aberration of Man by, I believe it's Kamikabe? I'm not 100% sure how you say their name. I've asked around and I haven't gotten any answer from anyone that truly knows, and I've been told the closest thing that they think it is Kamikabe. So that's what I'm going to call them, and if that's wrong, I am very sorry. If you're not familiar with these guys, this is their debut full-length, and this is my first exposure to them. They have 2 EPs prior to this, and I have not listened to them. This is my only exposure to them, so I'm basing that off of that fact. So these guys are labeled on the Metal Archives as technical deathcore, which I don't really understand. I'm just gonna, for the sake of argument, call them technical death metal because, in my opinion, that's what they are. They have some deathcore-like moments, I guess, with like the song slowdowns and even like one breakdown on this album, which is the song Nefarious, which absolutely destroys every breakdown that I've really heard this year. It's probably one of the nastiest things I've heard, period, so far in 2012. Just a very destructive breakdown, and you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've heard it. If you haven't, definitely look up the song Nefarious and listen to that, because that is just absolutely destructive. That's something you'll find a lot of traits of with this band, is a destructive-like quality. Everything from the drumming to the guitar riffs to the vocals just have this very massive, almost apocalyptic sound, yet it's not an overbearingly heavy sort of experience. It's definitely more rooted in the technical side of things. And when I say that, I don't mean like how a lot of people think of tech death. Once again, I've said this in many tech death reviews, where I'm not meaning it as in like Necrophagist style or Brain Drill or any of that really sort of wanky tech death. This is more done in a, I don't want to say tasteful way, but done in more of a natural way, where the scales in the songs are always changing, the tempo is always changing, there's quick changes in riffs, and just all these insane transitions that make the band not only really good and talented, but actually very interesting and almost fun to listen to. There's something about this album where I can't help but almost get lost when I listen to it, in more than one way. When I listen to it, I become absorbed into the music, trying to listen to every single thing that each person is doing. And I also get lost in the fact of I can't really, as weird as this sounds, I can't differentiate a lot of the songs from each other, especially maybe the first 3 songs. Kind of have that sort of quality. It just kind of blends together, but it's not a bad thing because all the songs are very good. It's just not a lot of stuff that makes each song stand out apart from each other, and there is a certain comfort in consistency. Now, when it comes to the guitar, the tone is very, very heavy, but it's not an overbearingly, extremely bassy, extremely muddy death metal guitar tone. It's more of a mid-range death metal tone, where it's made it so it's a very good balance of heaviness, yet you can hear all the technical notes and you can hear everything that's going on the guitar, and that's very good. And the bass has the same sort of quality. There's a couple points where it actually sounds distorted, and there's actually a bass-only sort of breakdown ending on one of the tracks. I can't remember exactly which one, but it is just really heavy, and it's almost mesmerizing, especially with the drum beat that goes with it. It just starts to become a very distinct sound, the bass, and that's something that's really unique about this band, is everything about them is kind of consistent with tech death, but there's some things that stand out, and definitely their guitar tone being more of a mid-range tone is one thing, and also the bass tone is another thing that separates them. A lot of bassists and tech death bands have a very clean, very almost just a kind of a flat bass sound, which is one thing that drives me insane about death metal. Is it's really rare to find a good bass tone in death metal, at least in my opinion. And they have an awesome bass tone, and I love it. The stuff that he plays, he goes off in his own territory, yet he also sticks with the music. He doesn't take away anything from the music, just adds to it. Drum-wise, an absolutely phenomenal drummer. Definitely knows what he's doing, and he plays the style well. And he really just makes the transitions in all the songs seem so much more smooth than a lot of technical bands will do, where it's just kind of like riff, riff, riff. His has this sort of quality to it where it may even still have that riff, riff, riff sort of thing in the guitar, but the drum will make it so that the transitions seem more fluid and honestly just much more appealing to listen to. As for drum sound, everything sounds really good. The kick drum is a little clicky, but it's something that's not like overwhelmingly bad or anything, like the Faceless Planetary Duality. I can't listen to that album because of the kick drums. These kicks sound very good. And when it comes to the vocals, I was a little surprised to hear this. If you guys are familiar with a band from Pennsylvania called Belie My Burial, their vocalist sounds a lot like this vocalist. Not exactly guttural, but not exactly high pitch. More of a mid-range sort of growl. It's very harsh sounding, and it's just another thing that makes them stand out in a sea of rather generic tech death bands. I would definitely say that this is a great album, and I highly recommend you pick it up. For a score, I'm going to have to give it an 8. You can find this pretty much everywhere. I've seen it in FYE. You can buy it online. I would recommend you buy it from the band or Unique Leader because they both deserve your support. Great label, great band. 8 out of 10. Definitely check this out and buy it and support these dudes. And that is my review. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.